you can see the market now is having a huge recovery, huge reversal, or say a relief rally that's happening after 2 months of bearish sentiment. So finally, we are getting this relief rally. Okay, so nothing goes down or goes up on the straight line. So everything will always have a retracement. So should we trust this rally? Okay, is this a bull trap? That's the most important thing that you have to take note. Okay, and nonetheless, you can see the global market also starting to pick up. Okay, especially the Nasdaq, S&P 500, and of course we have seen gold have hit a new all-time high and finally peak. Okay, I think around what $3,500, 3,005. Finally, we see a peak, and then finally we see the crypto market starting to rally again, starting to have this momentum, bullish momentum back again. But how far can we able to see, right? What is the expectation here? How long and what should we expect during this rally? Okay, so again, we look at this article here, and we can see that Bitcoin is slowly chasing up the gold. Okay, 20% surge, and most likely to decouple against the stock market like Nasdaq, S&P 500, and the rest. Okay, so overall, we can see the chart. Look at the chart here. Bitcoin displays growing maturity as a global asset. Okay, why is becoming less Nasdaq and more towards gold narrative. So usually when there's a lot of uncertainty in the market, people tend to flock to safe haven asset like gold. So that's why you can see gold hit a new all-time high. People have been buying a lot of gold lately due to uncertainty. Okay, then gold hit a new all-time high, and then of course slowly Bitcoin start to pick back up steam again, and slowly to decouple against the stock market. So Bitcoin went to about 20% recovery, okay, in the 2 weeks leading up to 22nd April, which is yesterday. Okay, closely mirroring gold's rise to $3,500. Okay, all right. So if we look at the global or geopolitical sentiment right now, I think most likely the tariff most likely is loosening out instead of having those strict restrictions between US and China. So I think most likely the deal will be happening. Okay, in terms of these two countries, most likely I think Trump is actually loosening out. Okay, and I think most likely to let China take control a little bit. So let's see. And then of course with the firing of Jerome Powell, okay, and then the Trump administration also most likely will be not doing so. Okay, will be taking their word back. Okay, but of course there are a lot of criticism coming in from Donald Trump, right? Expecting Jerome Powell to cut rates. But unfortunately, Jerome Powell did not listen and continue with the maintaining of interest rate. Okay, so things have really changed 360 degrees. Okay, should we see this momentum continue? Okay, or should we expect another fake out and then heading down again? So that's the concern. Okay, so we are now seeing capital flight to safety away from what? US stock market, bond market, and even the US dollar. So that's the whole thing. Why people are actually buying gold. And and right now we can see Bitcoin is taking the lead right now. Okay. All right. So you can see Bitcoin is much bigger idea than gold. All right. So yeah, we can see a lot of financial institutions, hedge funds are now starting to pile up, starting to add up, okay, on BTC, besides gold. Okay, so probably we could see a new all-time high very soon. Let's see whether or not can this momentum continues and to maintain above 92, 93,000 as support. If not, most likely going to see another pullback again. Okay, so that is the expectation for this week. And then moving on next, okay, what do we see here? Coming in from alts, especially altcoins on Ethereum. So as you know, a lot of people have been asking when is alt season? When can we have momentum for altcoins? That is the big question here. But the main issue right now we are looking at is Ethereum. Ethereum alone failed to perform throughout this year. What's more with 2024. Okay, and it goes back all the way to 2022, 2023 level. Okay, so if you've been buying Ethereum since 2022, you are where you are right now, and there's no changes at all. It's probably one of the worst investment, okay, compared to other altcoins. Okay, and then underperforms all top 5 major crypto for this year alone. Okay, so far now Ethereum is really at the downtrend. Look on the money time frame. Okay, we have seen a double top, and right now it just somewhere around 1.8K. So this is just a short term, probably a relief rally. Okay, so ETH is under pressure, okay, to recover, down nearly 50% as of this year. Okay, so yeah, I think really one of the worst performing crypto if you are holding Ethereum. Okay, it's like a stable coin. Okay, so it underperformed against who? Bitcoin negative 5%, Solana itself 25.5%, and then Binance Coin 30.5%. Even Ripple is up about 1%. Okay, so this is the thing. You must know when to de-risk. You must know when to realize that you're holding a underperforming coin, and what is your moment of decision? Are you going to hold, or are you going to de-risk, or are you going to, probably convert or to transition back to BTC or whichever? Okay, so if you can see here, the steep underperformance has sparked growing concerns on Ethereum's future. Of course, the foundation as well also another concern. Okay, and then with the Bitcoin dominance continue to go up. That also is another concern. Why, if Bitcoin dominance goes up, your alts cannot perform. It's Ethereum will bleed, and then of course alt also will bleed. Okay, and will not outperform against Bitcoin. So this is the thing, right? If you look at Ethereum against Bitcoin, okay, it went to a very lowest point since 2020. Okay, a huge decline against Bitcoin. Okay, so should we see, could be this be the bottom for Ethereum against Bitcoin chart? That will be another thing. It will take weeks to months to really find a bottom for ETH against Bitcoin before we see another huge reversal. Or if not, you're going to see Federal Reserve will transition from quantitative tightening to quantitative easing, which means most likely will be printing money. As of now, Federal Reserve have no intention to print money, which means still in a QT transition, still within QT. So as long as in QT, out, there won't be any out season, okay, and Ethereum will continue to be stagnant like that, okay. So yeah, again, like I said, okay, so you've got to check your portfolio, okay. If you are holding this type of asset class, maybe you need to, probably transition or probably de-risk or maybe move back to BTC, okay. But if you still believe Ethereum can really outshine for this cycle alone, probably wait for the Federal Reserve to announce QE, then maybe you might want to hold. Okay, if you have that conviction. Okay, so all in all, we can see short-term rally. Now it's like 1.8K. Okay, and still not out of the woods, it's still downtrend. Okay, so most likely it might come back down again if there's any chance. Okay, could retest all the way to 1535 as support, and then breaking below the level, okay, could go all the way down to 1.4 to 1.385. That could be another concern again, okay, because Ethereum is probably grinding very slow. It's been lagging a lot behind BTC movement, okay, and yeah, this is the thing right now for ETH. And then next, okay, so should you be concerned, okay, over these current gains or whatever alts that is been rallying at the moment? Probably 2 or 3 digit gains. Majority of the alts are actually receiving 2 digit at the moment. Should you be concerned, or should you be panicking right now, or should you be FOMOing in, fear of missing out? So a lot of people likes to buy the top or like to buy the rally. Okay, so what we are saying right now, as you can see, most of the alts have already gone down about somewhere around 70 to 90%. And right now, it's just having a short-term relief recovery. Okay, so again, you have to take note, okay, because most of the alts, I would say, consider a bearish sentiment, or probably in a bear market for alts. Okay, all right, so yeah, these are the things that you have to really take note. Should investors hope sustain for altcoin gains? Okay, so another thing to look at is the Ethereum against Bitcoin chart. Ethereum is not outperforming against Bitcoin, also another concern. And then you want to look at the total tree chart. Total tree was the altcoin market cap, but excluding Ethereum alone. So it went down to about 750 B in the first week of April. So if total tree, okay, goes down again, okay, then most likely you'll be concerned for alts. But if can able to rally back towards this all-time high again, then maybe got a chance. So if you look again here at this blockchain center, where are we? Are we in the altcoin season or Bitcoin season? At the moment, we are still in a Bitcoin season. Okay, so Bitcoin will rally, alts will be left behind for the near short term. Okay, And then hopefully if Bitcoin can able to pick or to consolidate around that range, then that's where odds will have an advantage to catch up again. So BTC dominance tracks the share of BTC market, okay, against the entire crypto market cap. Okay, Bitcoin dominance is also another important thing to take note, because I've been mentioning to you guys, whenever Bitcoin dominance continue to rally, so alts will not have a chance to continue to rally and will start to bleed. Okay, so again, I think probably it could rally even higher. So you have to be very, very careful, okay, for Bitcoin dominance. Okay, BTC dominance was set to rise higher. Okay, so your alts have to be very cautious. Okay, and whatever alts that you're holding, you have to probably look into it and find a narrative that can be able to withstand against the volatility or the pullback. Okay, yeah. So overall, this is it. And then next, we're going to see here coming in from the Trump's administration, or also known as the SEC side. Because you know that the SEC, Securities Commission, have a huge issue back then before Trump take over, which is Gary Gensler. And finally, now we have a new SEC chair, which is also a pro-crypto, right? His name is Paul Atkins. So now he's been taking charge as a head of SEC. So most likely it will be a very bright future for crypto. So I think whatever framework or whatever ETF that is coming on board, okay, for this year, most likely to be approved, or most likely will be given green light or whatever approval that is needed. Okay, so yeah, top priority of my chairmanship, okay, this will be to provide a firm regulatory foundation for digital assets through rational, coherent, and principled approach. Okay, so this is the main task now. Okay, but other than that, you can see overall it's very bullish. Okay, we have don't forget, we have the ETF that is coming in for Solana, and we have for Ripple, Cardano. All these, they are made in America, most likely to get approved. So this could be very, very big. So we're already in Q2 right now. So we left Q3 and Q4. So most likely after Q2 is done, we're going to see Q3 to start to transition, okay, from consolidation or a bearish sentiment, continue most likely to rally again, okay, all the way to Q4. That is my take here, but anything can happen during this market. Okay, so hope everything goes well for this transition of market. Okay, hopefully we are out of the woods. Hopefully the recession fight is done and dusted. Then we can be able to continue again with the all-time high. Okay, and then moving on next with the on-chain analysis. So this is coming in from CryptoCom, so you can see here. Two critical things that you can be able to take note. Money flow index. Okay, so where are we right now? So if you look at all these charts here, okay, so every time when the purple line we test on this 29.5 to 52 level, most likely is indicating a rebound or a reversal back towards the upside. Okay, so last one was right here, July 2024. Dip down, reverse back up. March 2025, I think quite similar as well, and April. Okay, and then compared to this one, bull run 2021, what happened was went all the way down below the 29.5 to 52 level. Okay, and then this is where the bear market starts to happen. Okay, the bear market. This was X was the bear market. So at the moment now, we are still above the 29.5 to 52 level. So I believe it should be fine. So this is a healthy reset for Bitcoin, but not the start of the bear market. So the true bull run has not come in any way. So I would say probably this could be the start of a reversal back towards the upside. Okay, and then we're going to see some bullish sentiment coming in. But again, got to be cautious, because what I'm seeing right now is just a short-term recovery, short-term relief. We're going to see on the technical side for BTC, whether or not can you able to maintain above 32K for the weekly time frame. And then it might need to consolidate for a couple of weeks at that range before we see a huge break towards the all-time high. Okay, so this money flow index, moving on next, we're going to see here coming in from ADO. Okay, talking about decoupling against the US equity and of course NASDAQ, most importantly. Okay, so if we look here, a lot of people are having this belief, because a lot of people are mentioning about the coupling of digital asset versus the DEX or the global market, like especially like US stock market. So nobody believing that Bitcoin could actually decouple from risk asset. Okay, everyone's still waiting on a downtrend movement. Okay, so what we can see right now is that Bitcoin slowly starts to decouple from the NASDAQ on the S&P 500 and slowly mimicking the movement of gold. So what happened after gold went to an all-time high of 3,500 or 3,500? Gold peaked, right? Went down, and then now you see Bitcoin starts to pick back up again. Very, very similar move. I still believe BTC eventually rips higher, further establish itself as an asset that more investors recognize as having very important place in the world where the US is sabotaging itself, right? So you can see the chart here. This is Bitcoin against the ES. This is another index fund. So it's actually strengthening against this. And then another one here, we can see. This is Bitcoin against Nasdaq. Okay. So yeah, we can see overall BTC right now have really started to prove that it's one of the, start to be one of the precious assets compared to gold at the moment. And I believe most likely this is just a beginning. Let's see. Hopefully it can able to remain where it is right now. Okay. So yeah, overall this is quite bullish for the crypto space. And then moving on next, right? This is also very important. We're talking about M2 money supply. So the more M2 money supply goes up, not only on the US, in the US, but other countries as well. Okay, we can see like US, Japan, China, Europe, all hitting all-time highs. So whenever this M2 money supply hit all-time high or hitting higher, that's where Bitcoin will start to have a shift in momentum towards the upside. This is what we want to see. M2 money supply. Okay, so let's see. Okay, once this thing goes up, I think everything will start to rally again. Okay, we can also see this, right? Indeed, M2 globally, okay, has been climbing vertically. This is the M2 global supply versus Bitcoin. Okay, all right. So we can see what's happening now. Sideways bleeding period. Okay, so most likely it will be mimicking very, very similar as well compared to the last cycle. Okay, sideways movement and then break. This is also could be another scenario as well. Sideways accumulation and then breakout. Okay, so we're just preparing for a huge launch pad for BTC. So you just need to be patient. Let's hope whether the market can able to retain at a level for BTC. Okay, and then next we're going to see here. Okay, so yeah, I think this one we've already done. Not sure. Yeah, okay, anyway, so Bitcoin have really outperformed against the S&P. So like I already mentioned, okay, if you fast forward from first year all the way to the 14th year, okay, you can see how many times it outperformed against gold and of course S&P 500. So the results are there. The numbers do not lie. So if you're early in this space, then congratulations, right? Okay, if you are the OG and you're still holding on diamond hands on each other. Okay, and then moving on next to Airdrop. Okay, so for those of you who have been doing Zora, okay, so you might want to start checking on your eligibility. Okay, so for those of you who've been doing Zora or minting NFTs, okay, you might want to check your Zora allocation. Okay, I think they are launching today. I think right now they're launching their token Zora, so you can able to check on your wallet whether you got the Zora airdrop. And then moving on next, okay, we have the Hyperlane. So Hyperlane, for those of you who have been doing Hyperlane for almost a year or 1 year, okay, you can able to claim right now your tokens. The current trading price is somewhere around 27 cents, not second, 27 cents. Okay, so yeah, so congratulations once again for you guys who have been doing this for 1 year. So you're reaping the rewards now. Okay, so there'll be more projects like this coming on. Okay, so you don't want to miss all this allocation. Okay, so if you are new to Airdrop, that's where you want to take advantage of all these type of protocols. Okay, so I believe there's more to come. Okay, besides Hyperlane. And then next, you're going to see here coming in from Sign. Okay, so ETH Sign, okay, have already revealed their tokenomics and of course their TGE as well. Okay, total supply will be 10B. Okay, and then 40% of total supply will be for the community incentive. And then 10% for airdrop. Okay. All right. So snapshot will be taken on 25th of April, which is 2 days from now. So if you have been doing this, then you might want to speed up on your tasks. You might want to do extra tasks for the deadline here. Then let's see whether or not the airdrop is worthwhile claiming. And then next we have Init also launching, I think probably today or tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. 24th of April, launching on Binance. Okay, so we have a lot of incentive here. I think a lot of people are having high expectation that this thing will probably launch with a minimum of 70 cents. Okay, so airdrop release will be 50 million of e-tokens. So these are the tokenomics here. So you can look if you've been farming on init. Okay, so these are the things that you want to take note. So 5% will be given to community. Okay, for those of you who have been farming the airdrop, 5% there. Okay, so yeah, again, I think some of them have also shown their disappointment because of Binance involvement. Okay, because I believe those projects are giving a lot of percentage to Binance. Okay, Binance getting more allocation than early supporters. And then what they do is that they sell at a cheaper price to their users, and then they launch it on the IDO platform. Okay, and this is what happens with Hyperlink as well. So you have to be very careful, and you have to, these are the things that is beyond your control. Okay, so they are rewarding people who do not farm or people who do not use the protocol, but the real users are getting left out. That is the main issue here. Okay, and then next, we're going to see here coming in from Humanity Protocol. So they've been farming Humanity. Okay, so they're going to convert your token of RWT to HP in the 1-to-1 ratio. So for those of you who've been checking in every single day, okay, so this is your reward. I think most likely they're going to airdrop very soon as well. So you might want to check in every day, claim the points. Okay, so no action needed. Every day you just claim. Okay, they will convert for you 1-to-1. All right, so tokenomics coming up very soon, and then following up with the airdrop. All right, so and then next we're going to look at is the next airdrop, which is 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀. So what is 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀? Okay, so you can able to see here. This is their project, which is also heavily funded by NVIDIA, Forum Ventures, and others. NVIDIA funded about 3 million funding by VC. Okay, and then with an additional 12 million coming in from other VC as well. So I believe this project is worthwhile doing. Maybe you can also start doing, which I'm going to share the link to you later, and you can be able to check in, because what you need to do is just need to connect your Discord, Twitter, and your email. And then on top of that, you just need to go for social. Okay, so this is what they've been doing. They are focusing on AI, scalable AI protocol and framework. Okay, backed by NVIDIA, which is quite huge. Okay, so all you need to do is go to the 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀.AI website, connect wallet, which is your MetaMask or your Remi wallet. Okay, and then you might want to check in every day. Okay, so these are the quests here. Okay, you got to follow, you got to connect Discord, and then join the Discord server. And this is where you want to check in, weekly check in. Okay, you want to check in every single day. So this will cost you some gas fee on Binance Smart Chain, BSC. So they are using BSC for the chain to transact. Okay, for this. So for those of you who want to join, you can join. Let's send the link here so you can be able to participate. Like Jim and Xiong also, you can join. So you can make sure you have some guests on Binance Smart Chain. Okay, like maybe Jim or Xiong can try, because this one is quite easy. Okay, check in every single day. So I think every 8 a.m. Okay, and then if you have some quests here, you can just follow and then just like and then retweet or whichever, and then you're done. And then collect points. Eventually, they will convert these points into token, and you can be able to sell them off. Okay, so this is 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝗀. Okay, 15 million funding by VC. I would say worthwhile to do. Okay, so if you have any issues or you want me to help you guys, so feel free to DM or whichever, to be able to assist. Okay, and then next, we're going to go here, which is the crypto coin market cap. Where are we now? 2.94 trillion. We are looking at BTC at 93.1K. Now, Ethereum is slightly below 1.8. So any gainers for today itself? We have Deep Book. It's under Sui network. Went up about 137%. That's huge. 20 cents now. And look at Sui, 43%. So all this Sui ecosystem is up now. You can see. Walrus also up. See, all under Sui, 34%. Onyx, Bong. Okay. So all these are starting to rally. Get near protocol 23%. RV 21%. Okay. Then Any losers? Bitenser down, 4% down. Pax Gold now is down. Okay, hyper liquid up also quite a lot recently, 19.84% last 1 week. Now it's slightly down. So yeah, overall, I think this is just short-term recovery. Okay, moving on next to the technical side. So if you have any question, feel free to put in the chat box and we'll look into it later on. So we look at the dominance now. What do we see now? Still uptrend. Monthly is still trending towards the upside. So we have this level to watch at 71%. That will be the final boss resistance. So let's see whether or not can he able to continue to rally. If not, might want to retest back here again at 60.25. Look at weekly time frame. You can see also trend creating high highs, high lows, high highs. Okay, so you gotta check all these levels here. This level have been changed from resistance to support at 71.7. Look at daily as well, trending towards the upside, still above the middle band, still uptrend, 3.7. Okay, so dominance still up. If we look on to the total tree, okay, this is excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, only out here. If we look on monthly, monthly is quite bullish, right? Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Very nice setup actually. This is the middle band, trending above there. And then, of course, now above this level, 773.19, which is quite crucial at this level to maintain. And then if that's going to maintain above here for this month, so I'm not going to have a challenge above this level here, 979, okay, to challenge for the new all-time high. But if you look on weekly, it is still downtrend, okay, or below the middle band, break below the middle band, confirmation now is having a hard time to break above the sell zone. Okay, it's still rejecting on the sell, and then if it continues to rally again, the middle band will be next. 884B around that level, 1203. Now, they look at Ethereum against Bitcoin. Still downtrend, right? All the way down. No sign of recovery yet, because now it's retesting on this critical support. On the money time frame, it's still downtrend. Look at weekly. So weekly again is still having a, still creating a reversal candle or bullish candle on weekly. But it's still not enough to confirm whether this is the bottom. It will take weeks to confirm this level as bottom, or to months, weeks to months. Okay, so at the moment, I've not really seen any slight changes yet for Ethereum against Bitcoin. It's still downtrend. First, it needs to break past the sell zone at 0.02136. That will lead up all the way to the middle band here at 0.02759. So at the moment, a long, huge mountain to climb for Ethereum against Bitcoin. Okay, so overall, it's still bearish for now. Then moving on to BTC. So what is BTC doing now? Monthly trend channel is still uptrend. Why? Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Maintaining very well at this level as support, 82.145, right? And then we look here, this level of support, 71325. Okay, so it's going to break maybe, if it continues to rally, this level will be like 96.5. And then to challenge the final boss resistance at 102.6K. That will be the level there. Okay, but overall on Monday, very bullish. Look at weekly now. So the weekly now is really trying to maintain above the middle band for this week. Very important is the 93K level and 2K level of support. Because this was once critical support, finally break down, and now it's trying to break this resistance up. Okay, this is the weekly now we are looking at. Okay, so let's see whether or not this week can close above. Not, we might see another dip back down again. And this dip back down maybe to test back again here at 86.3. Probably it will give you another chance to accumulate again if you miss the book. Then on daily, we can see a nice momentum. Yesterday closing above the top. So now we're having a reversal candle. Maybe might come back down to push at 90.6 for a pullback here. Okay, so maybe there's a chance of a pullback. Then to retest all this level, 87.6 to 90.6 for your reversal for BTC. Okay, so overall BTC now, we can see already momentum, reversal, retest candle is formed. I might expect a pullback is coming. So this pullback, might want to pay attention. Maybe you might want to accumulate. Maybe you might want to ride the bandwagon here towards the upside. Let's see. whether or not will it come back down to 90.6 and to 7.6. Okay, there's BTC. And then on ETH now, what's happening? Again, I mentioned to you guys, it is super bearish. Why? Double top, M pattern form on the money time frame compared to BTC is different. Okay, it have also broke past the middle band, which is bearish. Then you want to see here, this level as critical support, 1642. So far, it's maintaining above here at the moment. And then it needs to really close above this level, 1917 for your level here to watch. Okay, close above there will be very good, very bullish. But as for now, it is still bearish. Look at the weekly time frame, you can see, yeah, look at it, it's still downtrend, momentum sell. Okay, pull back, break down again. Now it's having a short-term reversal back, which will create another signal to sell. This is a pullback to sell. Okay, or else most likely maybe market might consolidate or to settle down in this range for Ethereum. Okay, probably it might follow or consolidate within this range, and let's see whether or not can Ethereum maintain at the level. Daily wise, very bullish, break above the middle band. Now the only thing is the top, or else you might see another throwback here, confirm again, and then sideways and then break higher. Okay, so as of now, you can see popping out here on H4, reversal retest candle is formed. I might see a short-term pullback here, maybe to dip back all the way back to 1.7. Okay, 1.7 or the middle band here, 1612 for Ethereum. All right, so let's look on next to the in outs here. So if any outs, feel free to put in chat box. So we're going to look at Hyperliquid. Okay, Hyperliquid, let's see. Right, so on monthly, you can see the chart is still downtrend, momentum pullback. Price now is having a huge reversal now, a bullish pin bar here. Okay, but again, I think Hyperlink just recently launched, so it's hard to tell since last year. Last year opening on KuCoin, December. So if you look here, chart is still bearish. This will be the level to watch at your resistance zone, 20.3. Is a level to break above there to maintain the level of support. As of now, it is still downtrend. Don't forget that. Then we look on next to daily. So daily overall, you can see the trend is trending up, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Okay, so if now it's having a pullback, maybe it might come back down to test here at 16.76. Okay, for your support. And then middle band will play an important part as well, 15.2 for Hyperliquid. So this will be the range if I'm going to buy back 16.76, 15.28 for this token. Okay, so as of now, it's still trending higher. You might want to see this level to maintain, if not, it might break lower. And then to continue to test for Hyperliquid. Then what else? FX. Okay, so you can see AVAX now. Still downtrend if you look at it. Low was at what? 15.57. M pattern, similar like Ethereum, double top. So it needs to really break above the middle band to confirm again its trend towards the upside. Or this level here, which is 22.39. Then on weekly, what we are seeing now, it is still considered downtrend, still below the middle band. And then now it's still having a short-term relief rally. Okay, so the 27.53 will be quite crucial to break above for FX. Daily wise is bullish now, momentum. So you have a lot of hurdles here coming in from FX. 22.39 leading up to 27.53, break higher. Okay, so there's avalanche, momentum, pullback. Okay, this pullback, maybe you might want to buy back here at 21.64 for FX. All right, so last one. Everybody's favorite, XRP. How is Edmund's XRP doing? Are you still holding, or are you still, or have you sold? So XRP, where is the XRP heading? We have the monthly time frame, very nice momentum. A reversal retest kind of formed. Now it's creating this level of support, very nice support. This level, and it's above this level as well. 1.98 and then 1.6. Huge critical support. Finally maintain this level as of now, still forming on monthly. And then what's next? The final boss resistance at this level here, 3.02. Okay, so far very nice. And then on weekly, we can see it's still downtrend. Y is below the middle band, plus testing on the sell zone. Okay, I'm not surprised if Ripple were to continue to consolidate within this quarter, Q2, to consolidate and then finally breaking higher. That is my expectation here, rather than going up all the way right now.